Hey everyone, Mackie here. We're nearing the end of the game. We're playing Hitman Absolution on hard. This is the hard walkthrough, mission 18, Blackwater Park. Definitely one of the hardest sections of the game, this outside area. Sprint to the right here, and you're going to go right here, pull out your gun, and shoot a bullet on that outside wall. And make sure you use change to change cover here. What we did is there's a guard in there, and we want to get his disguise. And he will walk out and you'll miss him by about 1 to 2 seconds every time. And unless you shoot that wall, you basically have to wait another 2 or 3 minutes for him to come back. I steal his disguise, I leave his body. This section is way too frustrating to try to hide it and find a more proper way. So unfortunately, I just leave his body there and I don't think it gets found. But either way, we're going to move here to this side and you're going to see two guards. Once this guard right in front of me here turns around and starts moving to his right side, or to my right side, then you can start moving across and behind them. And again, we're just walking around the outskirts of the map like always. At this section, you just want to change cover to cover. I don't think anyone's actually there, so you don't have to worry. This is probably the hardest part right here. There's two guards. There's one on the left and one on the right hand side. They have hawk vision. They can literally see you across the freaking map like that guy. And once the guy on the right hand side turns around, you kind of want to start following him in a way. So you see him turn around there, and the other one also turns around. I'm improvising here as it's the first time I got in this exact scenario. I got to this part with a slightly different scenario before. And you can sprint a little bit. Don't sprint too much. And you can park yourself right here, and you can see that there is a cop at the end. You want him to turn around, although he doesn't turn around very often. And I almost got spotted from behind there, which is why I pulled out a little bit of instinct and just walked a little bit further. Remember, you can always use corners and you can always crouch just to, save yourself. So here I am just crouching literally behind a mailbox, and all of a sudden they stop being interested in what I had to do. Once this guy moves out, go into this room. The reason we're going here is this mission is all about disguises. If you're a cop there or a security guard or whatever you want to call it, it's really hard inside the building because there's so many other cops. Everyone gets suspicious of you. This maintenance worker guy, or I think he runs the generator that you can turn off outside. There's also another way to get this costume is if you turn off the generator outside, he'll come looking to inspect it, and at that point you can kill him and usually you won't get seen. Once we get his costume, crawl through the vent, and at this point all we have to do is turn off the security. Unfortunately, I did not find any checkpoints, so this section is kind of long, and make sure you watch out for this guy. This guy got me 2 times. I forgot about him. He just crawls around the corner, and he'll spot your disguise. Oh, there is a checkpoint. I'm dumb. There it is. So we click that checkpoint, and I end up doing it first try. What we have to do is disable security or push an override button for the elevator so we can get to the top floor. And the only place we're not allowed in this section of the map is actually the one place where that button is, which is inside that room. Now, there's a lot of police. There's like 2 or 3 police officers inside and a bunch outside. I didn't know if that police officer right there would be suspicious of me if he saw me walk into the room. So I kind of took my time. I threw the wrench, and they didn't turn around exactly how I wanted. But one of them did go to inspect it, and the override button is literally right behind that pillar in front of me. So I actually found a break in the pattern that works perfectly. You don't want to use this door. You want to use the other door. And literally, as soon as those 2 guards in the corner have their backs turned towards you, and that guard pushes away from the table, you can literally just sneak up to it and push the button without a problem. The pattern's a little hard to work out because you have to be behind the guy next to the computer when he turns to his left, and the other 2 guards will walk away. So that's the pattern. We're going to press Y to override the elevator, and now we're going to wait maybe 2 seconds to get it. Once we get into the elevator, we get to the next section of the map, which is a little difficult in my opinion. I do get a silent assassin rating just because of how I take out the final target. I get all my points there. Right now I got veteran, but after the short cinematic, we're going to be on top of an elevator shaft, and make sure to kind of rush, if this makes sense. You have to do this next section pretty quick to trigger the right sequence of events. So onto the ledge we go, all the way to shimmy all the way to the end. B to drop down, B to drop down again. Crouch, take out your gun, start running a little bit. Once you're at this section, just shoot that corner where the door meets the baseboard on the left side. If you do that with the right timing, only this guard will come to inspect, and just press X to attack him once he comes through the door. Subdue him, and you're going to want his costume. If you do it too late, instead of getting this guard, you'll get a woman dressed as a regular like CIA lookalike person, and her costume's not that useful as there's like a million of them in this level. So we're going to dump his body over just, just for some extra points just in case. And press Y to open that door. Now literally we can basically walk to the target once she's in the panic room and assassinate her, and it's pretty freaking easy. None of this really matters. I'm basically just wasting time and keeping my distance from other people who look like me while the target takes her typical course of events and ends up in a hidden room in the back section of the map. Just keep an eye out and make sure none of the people who can see you are, similar looking to you. You have a full face mask, so it totally makes sense that everyone who also has a face mask on their face can spot you, because you're different looking. Don't ask how that works, but apparently they know. So you'll see them all walk through those arches, and at that point is where you kind of want to pounce. You see her in the very end of the hall there, and she walks into a panic room, which is a hidden room they have in this setup here. This is the only guy I didn't really know. He didn't really seem to have a pattern, so I just instinct by him. I think you can go through the left, but then you need more instinct to come around anyways. And then I use that for extra just in case. Go up to this wall, press Y, and the door will open, and you'll start a cinematic with boobs. And once this section comes out, she pulls a gun on you. Just press LT, aim for her head, and shoot right away, and you'll have her dead almost instantly. So, bam, in the face. You can drag her body and hide it into the dumpster for extra points if you're a point whore like me. And then you just pick up the phone that's sitting on the bed, and you've literally finished the mission already. Now, keep in mind, seems like a short mission, but it's actually quite hard. Especially the first section took me, 4 tries, at like 40 tries at least. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching. That is a Sound Assassin rating, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Later.